Hello and welcome to this Norbord, my cabinet guide video on how to assemble a 1000mm base unit. It's always best to assemble your unit on the cardboard box. That way you can protect the panels. I take my shelf. The fittings for the shelf have already been inserted. That's the beauty of Cooke Lewis. All the fittings have been pre-inserted for you that you require to assemble the unit. My back panel, and it comes pre-drilled for your shelf supports. My first side panel, and I'm going to turn this one round like this. And this is now my left-hand side panel. I turn this one round, and this is now my right-hand side panel. I don't require the other components at this time, so I'm going to move them out the way. But you have a drawer rail. You don't require this drawer rail if you're actually turning this into a sink unit. You have a centre munting. A back rail. Fittings have been pre-inserted. Your leg pack and any additional fittings that you require. And the last panels in my box are the base panel and the front rail. In each box there is an assembly guide. Please take the time to read this, as there is useful information on here that will help you to build your unit. It also tells you what items are in the box and the minimum tools required to get the job done. So I've laid my end panels out. This is my right hand one and this is my left hand one. And I've laid it out so that they are back to back. I take my back panel, making sure that it's groove to groove. Tighten the cams up. I insert my front rail. This front rail goes in like this. And again, tighten the cam up as you go. I get my back rail, and the fittings for the back rail go behind so you can't see them. And we tighten that up. I now slide my back panel into position. There is a larger gap here that goes towards the bottom of the unit. Slide it into position and taking my last side panel, I put that on. With this 1000mm base unit, you can have either two solid doors, what they call highline doors, or you can have two drawline doors, so you'd have a drawer in here. Now to do that, you will need the drawer rail, because the drawer rail is what holds the drawer runners in position. So I assemble it with the single hole on the drawer rail towards the centre munting. The double hole goes towards the back of the unit. Okay, so I now put this into position. So I'm now going to fix my drawer rail to my back rail, and what you do is you push it into position like this, pull it together, and then tightening up the cam which is in the side here, that locks it towards the back of the unit. The top rail and base panel are pre-drilled for the 50mm screws that you need to put in to hold the centre munting in position. And those screws are in your fixing pack. You can use a cordless screwdriver to put the fittings in on your unit, but we would recommend a handheld screwdriver, because that way when you're putting the fittings in you can make sure you don't over tighten them. And there we have the four 50mm screws. So I fit the top two first, and then I repeat for the bottom of my centre munting. Okay, I'm going to insert my shelf pegs. There's two on each end panel, one on the back board, one on the centre munting, and that's those all in position. Put your shelf in like this, over your shelf supports, and then knocking down gently, that holds your shelf in position. And that is my 1000mm base unit assembled.